everyone, this is Shital Trivedi, Assistant Professor from the Department of Pharmaceutical Technology. Welcome to the MOOC series, an initiative taken by LG Institute of Pharmacy, Ahmedabad. In this video, I will share an overview on semi-solid dosage forms. So let's see. Well, pharmaceutical products are classified in different kind of dosage forms like solid dosage forms, semi-solid dosage forms and liquid dosage forms. So what are the semi-solid dosage forms? These are semi-solid in consistency and these are meant for topical application on skin or mucous membrane. So these are applied on mucosa of the oral cavity or nasal cavity or conjunctiva of eye or vaginal and rectal mucosa. So variety of the products fall under this category like ointments, creams, gels, paste and suppositories. Well, suppositories are not semi-solid in consistency, but these are made by using semi-solid bases and converted into the solid consistency for the introduction into the body cavities like rectal and vaginal cavity. Whereas the other formulations, these are semi-solid in consistency and these formulations differ in their some of the physical properties like creams. These are less greasy compared to the ointment, whereas the paste that contains high amount of the insoluble solid in the base and paste are more stiffer than the ointment. So depending on the type of semi-solid product, some of the ingredients vary and depending on the requirement this can be prepared accordingly. Well, all the dosage forms are having certain advantages and disadvantages when compared with each other. So for semi-solid dosage forms, these products are certainly having some advantages. These semi-solid dosage forms are meant for external application and that is the reason that whatever side effects that is associated with the oral administration and that is due to systemic effect of the drug can be eliminated by the external application. And for the same reason, those drugs which undergo extensive gut and hepatic metabolism, this metabolism can be avoided if this medicated semi-solid products are used through the external application. Now, in case of some skin infection where the local effect or the site-specific action of the drug is required over the affected area, then the semi-solid dosage forms are effective because these are applied externally on the affected area only. So that will eliminate the need of systemic effect through the oral administration. Well, these semi-solid dosage forms are very convenient for the patients who are unconscious or having difficulty in swallowing the oral dosage forms. As these formulations are applied externally, better drugs can be given through these dosage forms. And when we compare with the liquid dosage form, obviously the semi-solid products are having better physicochemical stability. Let's see about some of the disadvantages which are associated with the semi-solid dosage forms. Well, this kind of dosage forms are having problem of dosage accuracy because patients generally do not apply the measured quantity of the semi-solid products whenever required. Semi-solid dosage forms generally includes fatty components as base and can be easily oxidized. Semi-solid product can stain the skin or clothes. And when we compare with the solid dosage form, these semi-solid products are bulky to handle. Even in terms of the physicochemical stability compared to the solid dosage forms, these are less stable. And the semi-solid dosage forms can cause irritation and allergy in some patients. And the possibility of contamination of the product is also there because the patients usually apply the semi-solid products with the finger. So, contaminated finger can contaminate the product. Let's see about the properties which are required in semi-solid dosage forms. So if we talk about the physical properties, semi-solid dosage forms are required to be elegant in appearance. It required to have smooth texture, non-gritty, non-greasy. It should not cause the staining over the skin. Semi-solid dosage forms are need to be non-dehydrating and non-hygroscopic, and these properties are required for the patient acceptability for the semi-solid products. If we talk about the physiological properties, then semi-solid products are required to be non-irritant, and this product should not alter the skin function. This product should have the low sensitivity index, and these are need to be miscible with the skin secretion. And regarding application properties, semi-solid dosage forms should be easily applicable on the skin, and these should get easily washed off with the water. Let's see about the common formulation ingredients of the semi-solid dosage form. So this includes the one of the most important ingredient, that is base, and that results into the semi-solid consistency of the product. And depending on the type of product, the other ingredients can be included, like preservative, right? So that is used to protect the product from the microbial growth. So generally the semi-solid products containing high amount of the water required addition of the preservative. And the next ingredient, that is humectant, and this is required to maintain the moisture content of the product. So generally glycerin, that is one of the example. The another ingredient, that is antioxidant, and that is to protect the drug or the base from the oxidation. The another ingredient, that is emulsifier. Now when the semi-solid products includes both oily phase and aqueous phase, this is one of the most important ingredient to have the uniform dispersion of these two phases in the product. The another ingredient, that is gelling agent. Now this is one of the important ingredient in gel type of semi-solid products. One more ingredient, that is permeation enhancer. Now semi-solid products can be of two category. One, that is non-medicated, that is generally for the cosmetic purpose, and the another category of the semi-solid products may contain the medicament. So that is medicated semi-solid products. So whenever medicated semi-solid products, again this can be applied for the local effect, or this medicated semi-solid products can be applied for the systemic effect. So whenever systemic effect is required, the penetration of the medicament through the skin is important. So in this kind of products, to enhance the permeation of the drug through the skin, permeation enhancer like oleic acid can be added in the formulation. And one more ingredient, that is buffer. So that is to maintain the pH of the product. Let's see about the base, which is important ingredient in semi-solid dosage form. And bases, they do not act merely as carrier for the medicament, but this bases also control the release of medicament incorporated into them. So these bases are required to have some ideal properties, like these are required to be non-greasy, non-irritant, should not stain the clothes or skin. Then these are required to having good solvent property, or should have good emulsifying property. These are required to be compatible with the skin pH, or compatible with the medicaments and the other formulation ingredients incorporated along with it. These are required to be inert in nature. These are required to have good stability, elegant in appearance, and if the medicated preparation, then this base should release medicament readily at the site of application. And whenever the release is required to be controlled, then base should act accordingly. And bases should be emollient, protective, or easily removable in nature. So based on the properties, bases can be classified in four categories: hydrocarbon base or oleaginous base, absorption base, water miscible base, and water soluble base. And all the bases are having certain advantages and disadvantages, because we cannot find all the ideal properties in a single base. So depending on the requirement, base can be selected by the formulation pharmacist. So the first base, that is oleaginous base, and as the name indicates, it is oily in nature, and this is made up of the ingredients which are hydrocarbon in nature. So usually the paraffins, that is soft paraffin, hard paraffin, or liquid paraffin, and mixture of this different paraffins will result into the hydrocarbon base. So one of the example, that is paraffin ointment, that is under this first type of base. The second base, that is absorption base, and as the name indicates, this base having higher capacity to absorb the water. So it is different than the hydrocarbon base, which is having very less water absorption capacity. So in absorption base also, it is categorized into category one, that is non-emulsified base. So this base is generally contains one of the ingredient with hydrophilic properties like wool fat or cholesterol or beeswax. So along with the paraffins, these ingredients are there in non-emulsified base. Absorption base also includes one more category, that is also known as water in oil type of base. So these bases contain certain amount of the water. So for example, hydrous wool fat, that is the example of the absorption base. So this water in oil type bases are still having more water absorption capacity compared to the non-emulsified base. The third base, that is water miscible base, and as the name indicates, this one is miscible with the water, and that is the advantage of this base, that it can get easily washed off from the skin by water. Water miscible bases usually contain emulsifying wax, and that contains cationic or anionic or non-ionic type of emulsifier or surfactants. Water soluble bases, again as the name indicates, these are soluble in water, and usually macrogol, that is the polyethylene glycols, are the main component of this base. So polyethylene glycols are available in different consistency based on the molecular weight. So combination of the different molecular weight PEGs can result into the desired consistency. So depending on the properties required in semi-solid dosage form and the nature of the medicament present, bases can be selected. Let's see about the preparation of the semi-solids. So whether on a large scale or a small scale, semi-solids can be prepared usually by these three methods. The first, that is called incorporation method or trituration method, or it is called ligation method, that is weight trituration or weight mixing method. The second, that is fusion method, and the third, that is called emulsification method. So when formulation includes both oily and aqueous ingredients, emulsification method can be used. For example, creams type of semi-solid dosage forms are usually prepared by the emulsification method. So depending on the nature of the ingredients present in the formulation, the preparation method can be selected. So let's see about the incorporation method or trituration method. So what is done in this method? On a small scale, all the ingredients are to be taken in mortar, and that can be triturated with either spatula or pestle. Or trituration or the levication can be done by using the ointment slab, and that is with the help of spatula. So when the semi-solid product contains medicament and that is insoluble in nature, then the amount of drug can be triturated with part of base, and then this uniform dispersion can be further diluted by the remaining of the base, and that is on the ointment slab. On a large scale, colloid mill or homogenizer or triple roller mill kind of equipments can be used for the production of the semi-solid products. Let's see about the fusion method, and as the name indicates, fusion or melting is involved. So if the semi-solid formulation includes multiple ingredients, then all these components are combined by melting together and cooled with constant stirring until it gets congealed. And if the formulation includes non-meltable components also, then these non-meltable components can be added into the melted base or the melted ingredients while the cooling process is ongoing during its congealing phase. And if the formulation includes the volatile components or heat labile components, then these components are obviously to be added in the last stage when the temperature of all the melted base is sufficiently low to prevent loss of the volatile component or to prevent the decomposition of the heat labile components. Let's see about the another method, that is emulsification method. And as I said, when formulation includes both oily and aqueous ingredients, this method is to be used. So what is done in this method? All the meltable ingredients which are oily in nature melted together, and that results into the oily phase. And if the product contains medicament and that is oil soluble, that can also be dissolved in this oily phase. And all the other water soluble ingredients are to be dissolved in aqueous phase. So both the phases are to be maintained at the same temperature, and then in next step one phase is to be added into the another phase slowly with constant stirring. So depending on the amount of the phase that is involved, either aqueous phase can be added into the oily phase or oily phase can be added into the aqueous phase. So here you can see that the aqueous phase is added into the oily phase, and then emulsification or the mixing of these two phases together result into the water in oil type of dispersion, and further cooling results into the conversion of this liquid phase into the semi-solid phase. So the creams type of semi-solid products are usually prepared by this method, and this type of products involves very important ingredient, that is emulsifier, and that's why there is a term emulsification. Let's see about the evaluation of the semi-solid dosage forms. Well, semi-solid dosage forms can be non-medicated or medicated. So if non-medicated semi-solid products, then these are generally evaluated for the general appearance, or it can be evaluated for the non-grittiness, non-irritant effect, and these are evaluated for the consistency or the viscosity, right? So viscosity determination also gives idea about the spreadability. And when semi-solid dosage forms are medicated one, this includes the taste like drug content, then absorption of base or medicament through the skin, release rate of the medicament from the base, and the absorption of medicament from the semi-solid product that is applied externally, and that is into the bloodstream. And for these, blood samples or urine samples are to be collected and to be analyzed to check the amount of medicament that is present in this sample, which will indicate about the absorption of the drug from this semi-solid products which are to be applied externally. So this is an overview on semi-solid dosage form, and these are the references. Thank you very much for watching this video.